Hello everybody. Today we're going to be sailing to Tortuga. This is how you get there. There's a cool little cutscene here. Hail, Captain, I will not let you down. Following you, hoist the sails. Because I did rescue my crew, which I'm assuming means we can now be a pirate crew and head to Tortuga together. So anyway, this is pretty cool. It says now available Voyage. So this is really the part that I was interested about. So if I hit my escape menu, it says I have a voyage, but it's available on the ship only. So of course we're going to run over to the ship and see what that's all about. All right. I guess you must be at the helm, which I am. All right. So now I can hit V and we have unlocked a star map. Okay. So Tortuga, how do let's see. I'm assuming I just sail straight for it, right? Is there a way I can select it? There we go. Yes. Oh, look at that. I love it. All right. So hold on. I have to... You left click, and then you hold spacebar to confirm the voyage, and away we go. So this is very interesting that you don't actually have to sail all the way there. This also makes me wonder what other voyages they could have planned in the future that take us to like a different instance or server instance that is completely different from the little islands that we have. And apparently it is daytime. Oh, look at that ship. That is awesome. Wow. Okay. So where am I? That is a battleship. Is that Tortuga over there? Where are we? I guess we're just gonna head to the only... Oh, this kind of looks like the shape of a turtle, right? So port we go. See if we can dock. I see, like, is it a structure? I can't tell if it's like trees. Oh no, those are totally docks. Okay, very cool. Get a shot of this. How neat. It's actually a bit smaller than I thought, but I have a little update on that. The developers might be working on a little something something in regards to this. I won't say more because I don't know more. Just that little rumor. But this is the Tortuga we will get for our alpha. So let's see. I want to try and pull up to that ramp there, or just even get the front of my ship up to it so that I can just hop in. I do appreciate the ramp for those of us who fall. Let's see. I might be able to make this jump, I'm not sure. Also, I brought things that I would like to sell in Tortuga because I want to see exactly how much I can get, how many coins I can get for all of this. Okay, so here we are. Let's see what we can do here on Tortuga. So I have thoughts about not actually sailing. I know it says it's a voyage, but it would have been nice to actually have to sail there, use the sailing mechanics to get there. But I get what they're going for because it's a completely different map. So another thing I'll note is it was not laggy to load in here at all, whereas since I've been building on my home map, it does get a little bit, the frames drop a bit, and sometimes you crash out right when you try and load in. So this is nice to not have to worry about that. But basically what we've got going on here is just a typical port with lots of crates and boxes around. We've got a goods merchant, and this is exactly who I was looking for. Okay, so I have 687 piastres, which is, I think, pretty impressive. Yeah, look, so I could buy like one nice ring or a nice sharpshooter talisman. Ooh, these are nice too. So it looks like I can get my next set of gear here. Ship merchant. Let's take a look at the ship merchant.
Stop by here.
Hey, he's got a voiceover. Let's see. You need to bring 5,000 piastres, 100 timber and 100 tarred planks. Okay, so timber, I think I already unlocked the recipe for 5,000 piastres. Okay then, so we're gonna be working a while to get the next upgrade ship-wise. Okay, we need to find somewhere to sell. There must be another way to sell, unless I need to just click and drag. I don't know, I'm probably absolutely flubbing it here. but let's take a look at the food merchant. So what do we have here? We can buy healing herbs, which is nice. We can, oh, beans, cane sugar, coffee beans. Okay, cane sugar I haven't found a bunch of yet. Beans I haven't found at all. Ancient spices, yeah. So this is going to be good if I need. Let's see. I'm going to buy one healing herb and see. Okay, I thought maybe I could like click and drag this, the Triton's horn, over and have it like.
Never you hire better workers than here.
Okay, so I can hire, oh, NPCs. Okay, let's see. Each contract costs 10 gold. I think I want a hunter, honestly, because the hides are... There we go, we've got a hunter contract. Okay, so new discoveries available, new updates in journal. So we have a hunter, a little hunter station that we can build in our camp. And then I have, it should be down here. I already had a lumberjack contract, which is interesting. Where's the other one? Here it is. Allows you to hire a helper for resource gathering. So that's very cool. I really like that because honestly, I spent most of my time hunting boars. No more hired hands available today, pal. Come back later. Okay. So I'm going to have to revisit Tortuga at a later time. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Buyer. Pawn shop. Okay, this is perfect. So, yep, we're selling that. We are selling 3 of these Senkamati amulets. We are selling this vase. What else? It looks like you can sell silver here. Gold, of course. Could I have sold trophies here? I can, so I can bring spare trophies here. It's time to go on a dodo hunting trip and a boar hunting trip because then I can just sell those. You can sell coffee, you can sell salt. I really like this because when I board ships, I really like gathering salt. And so, that might be a way to make a little extra money. But anyway, it looks like I am 1/5 of the way to a new ship, which is just insane. In a good way, though. Gives you something to work towards. All right, what else do we have here? We have Governor's Aide. What is this? Hold on, let me get a nice picture of this guy.
Tortuga.
And look, he has a voiceover as well. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, I like that. You here for business or just to make trouble? Alright, found a letter in a smuggler's stash. You know who it was meant for? There's a bounty on that bastard's head big enough to sink a schooner, yet he's still breathing. Take my advice, mon ami. Don't go looking for him unless you fancy a swim with a stone collar. I'll handle the letter. Okay. Then I expect proper compensation. Tortuga's in rough waters. Friends are worth more than gold. Okay, so we got, oh nice, we got 300 piastres from handing that smuggler's web quest in. So that's nice. This says closed, so we can't get in there right now. See if we can go around the front and see what's over here. So yeah, basically just a little pirates hub that has NPC merchants. Let's see. So we've got the ship's merchant, we've got the goods merchant, and let's see if we can get in here. Nope, this is closed as well. Okay, so if we look on our map, are we missing anything? Goods merchant, ship merchant, recruiter, food merchant, buyer, and governor's aide. So nope, so far we are not missing anything. And then I'm assuming you can go off and explore the island a bit more, although I don't know what would be on Tortuga. I'm not going to get into the PvP because I'm honestly not interested in the PvP. But I believe that there is a PvP arena type thing. Okay, so after visiting Tortuga, my new goals are to farm enough money for a bigger ship. And let's see, locate and search the priestess's dwelling. Alright. So yes, just basically farming money, which means we're going to have to do some boarding, which I will get into in order to get a bigger ship. And then once we get that bigger ship, we'll just keep going and doing more boarding with that bigger ship, and it's going to be great. So this was just a quick look at Tortuga. But again, the main reason I wanted to record this is because I wanted to see how this voyage mechanic works, because what I'm thinking is that in the future the developers would be able to, so similar how Tortuga is set up, they would be able to set up like unique instances like a pirate cave or a small stranded island with some kind of goal that you have to work towards either alone or with other players. Kind of like like a challenge or a dungeon or, you know, something, a way to add more content to the game without bogging down those main islands that you're playing on. I think, ooh, I'm gonna crash. Ooh, okay. All right, we're just gonna call the cutter. It's already facing forward. It is a bit tight to turn, which is as it should be. I'm just not a pro at doing it yet. Okay, and off we go. So let's see what it's like to get back. I'm assuming, let's see. Crew rescue, yes, I did all that. So if I do V again, Devil's Throat, which I think is the PvP, and I'm not going to be going there. But yeah, so this is what I mean. There's probably tons of other locations that we gotta go. Do I have to go around to click on the archipelago? I might have to actually face it to be able to click it. But what I mean is that there's probably so many things that they could do with this, which I think is great. It leaves room for the game to grow without just being stuck on one map, like one server map. And as I said, that means that everything you've built on your private islands won't bog down the rest of the game, because honestly, my little islands are getting bogged down, and I'm sure all of that will improve with optimization. But look at how cool that battleship is. Look at that. So cool. What a pretty view. Look at that thing. Love it. Okay, I need to stop oogling the ship, and we need to get back into voyage mode and get back home. The trick is that you have to be, like, you have to be facing it with that little pointy arrow, right? So it's not about your mouse, it's about where the arrow on the water is pointing, that white, like, needle. And it looks like we're back? Oh wow, what is this? Locate and search the priestess's dwelling. So it put me somewhere way north. And I have never been here before, which is really interesting. The priestess is not for this video though. The rest of this video is going to be setting up those NPC contracts, because I'm really curious about how they work, and I want to see if they're going to help with bringing in more hides, because oh my gosh, that's been the hardest part of all of this for me, is going out and finding boars to hunt. I seem to go through them really quickly. Okay. So we are back at our little base. I'm hoping it doesn't crash because it gets a little laggy. So anyway, let's see how we do this. I'm assuming we just go straight into our build menu and we find, yeah, so workers, hunter. Yep, all it needs is a hunter contract. Look at that. I don't even need to worry about resources. So you just have the contract, and look at that, we have a hunter. I have no idea how this is going to work.
Animals may be clever, but I got a gun.
Animals may be clever, but I got a gun, he said. Okay, that's really funny. Let's set up the lumberjack. I love that. Animals may be clever, but I got a gun. Alright, what does our woodcutter say anything? Trees may be clever, but I got an axe.
What do you need? Sticks, wood, an axe for a headache.
What do you need? Oh, man, they just chatter. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have some chit-chat and NPCs here. Look at this merry crew. Look at them all. Okay, now, my question is, how do these work? Oh, it needs a roof. Oh no, okay. I should have checked that before I put this down. Alright, well, we're gonna have to build a really quick building here. Hut frame. Here we go. This is what I want.
Me axe is sharp and me hands is strong.
Me axe is sharp and me hands is strong, he says. Okay, this should be enough to move those in. I believe I have to actually go and delete them though. Please tell me I get the contract back. I do. Okay. This is good. This is all good to test this out and try this stuff out. Now let's put them where they belong. Back in my little settlement. So here's our woodcutter. I've already missed their quippy sayings. Look at him, now he's working. All right. Wow, this is so cool. I love this. Okay, and ooh, we gotta make sure this gets perfectly under the roof. There we go. All right, my workers might be at work. Let's manage this. Okay, so we get to manage these. No active tasks. He's resting. So, yes, this is perfect. He can go hunt goats, which means he can also get the bezoars, the alchemic ingredient. He can get boars, which takes 8 hours. Dodos, I'm assuming, will get feathers, and wolves give their teeth. Let's do boars. Let's send him off to hunt some boars. Ooh, it requires gold every time you send them. Alright, so this really means that I am gonna have to go and board some ships and farm some things. Okay, so he's resting. We can just have him harvest lumber or harvest fiber, again for 40. So I'm just gonna test this out with these, but I doubt I'm gonna use the wood chopper a lot because it's really easy to get a whole bunch of lumber at once, as well as plant fiber. Well, that's kind of cool. So I let them sit a bit and I come back and they produce so much for the amount of coins that you give them. My only question is, how do you get them to give you the resources from a different biome? Would I have to have a base on a different biome and put them there in order to get the different types of wood and metals? Because as you can see, all of this lumber is just regular old lumber from the island. So that's my biggest question, is how to get them to collect upgraded resources. So I guess a quick breakdown of Tortuga is just once you get to a certain point in the story, through progressing through the story, you find the navigator and Dr. Galen helps you get to Tortuga. Where there are NPCs, you can sell your goods, you can upgrade your ship, you can barter, and you can recruit people to live over here at your settlement. That will help you farm resources so that you don't have to go and do all of that yourself. So I'm going to have to go back and visit later and see if I can get myself a cook or something who maybe will keep up with my cooking or farming. That could be an interesting one for an NPC to have to keep up with. But yeah, anyway, I think for me, the main takeaway is that the voyage option, so when you're in your cutter, this available on ship only with the little sextant here, the voyage option had so many different constellations in the sky, and to me that means there can be so many different things that we could do with it. We could travel to so many different lands, there could be so many different activities that we could get into, and I think that's what excites me the most. The only thing I'll say is that I kind of wish I had to actually sail to Tortuga rather than it just being like a jump, but because the game isn't like leaning into more of that realistic side, I'm okay with it, and I'm not going to pick gripes with it because I kind of know what to expect coming into this. It's not, as I've said, it's not a pirate sim, it's not a hyper-realistic sailing game. It's trying to get you like into the action and through the progress, I think, based on how everything is. Okay, so that was Tortuga. I'm just going to keep building up my base, and I'm going to go out and board a bunch of ships so that I can get some salt and valuables to sell at Tortuga. So that is it for me today, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or anything regarding Tortuga or specific NPCs that you can have at your base that you would like me to try, and I can definitely go ahead and do that. Beyond all that stuff, my next stop is going to be up where my cutter is. Right at whatever the priestess's dwelling is. I think I have to go to a swamp at some point. Maybe that's where that biome is. So I'm sure that'll also be in an up and coming video. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. I will put some more Crosswind videos at the end of this one for anyone who's interested. I hope you all are enjoying your games, and I will see you all in the next video.